Hey everyone, and welcome to a nice little chatty video about all of my February favourites. For such a short month, quite a lot happened in February. I do have a lot of experience favourites, which I will talk about later on. I'm not going to be talking about any of the books I read in February, so if you want to know about those, I will leave a link to my wrap-up down below in the description box. So I'm going to kick it off with TV and film. I haven't really binge-watched a show in February, which I'm quite disappointed by. I'm a total binge watcher. I will watch a show from start to finish over a weekend. But I have been keeping up with How to Get Away with Murder. I can't remember what season we're on with How to Get Away with Murder now, whether it's season 3 or season 4, but either way, it is such a good show and I love it so much. It's hard for me to talk about the season I'm on now because spoilers, but if you've not watched any of this show before, this is about a group of law students and how they become involved with a murder as they become increasingly involved with the life of their law professor, Professor Keating. It stars Viola Davis and she is absolutely incredible. Oh my god, she is so good in everything, but she is so fucking good in this show. It's a show with a really diverse cast. It has people of colour in powerful positions, but also acknowledges the struggles that they face because of their ethnicity in order to make it to those positions. It also features a number of LGBT plus characters. This show is just so good. It's so good. Treat yourself and watch it. Also, Alfie Enoch, Dean Thomas, he is in it, and oh my god. I also watched a lot of First Dates this month. I don't know if people who aren't in the UK or Ireland will know what First Dates is, but First Dates is a show on Channel 4. It's a reality show, and it is about blind dates. So two people are matched up and they go for dinner together, and you get to just sort of observe the date. I think a lot of these Channel 4 dating shows can be really disrespectful, but I don't think First Dates is. I think it's done really well. Some people might disagree with me on that, and I would be glad to be corrected, but for me it is such a lovely, comfort show. It's the perfect show to snuggle down under a blanket and watch with a cup of tea and some chocolate. I didn't watch as many films this month as I would have liked to. I watched The Conjuring, which is a horror film that I'd never seen before, and that was shit. Do not bother. It is so bad. It's not scary. It's not interesting. Seriously, do not bother. But one film I did see, and I saw it in the cinema with some friends, was Arrival, which stars Amy Adams. And oh my god, this film is so good. So if you've not heard anything about Arrival, this is a sci-fi film where these sort of ships or pods arrive on the Earth in various different locations. You can't seem to find any sort of correlation between the places, any connection between them. And the pods don't actually do anything. Amy Adams is an expert linguist and she is brought in to try and communicate with the aliens. And we follow her as she tries to work out how to communicate with them. And the way that is portrayed is so interesting. If you are interested in language at all, I think this is a really great film to see. It's really great to see a sci-fi film that is led by a woman and a woman who is a linguist. But this film is not about the aliens, and I think that's what really good sci-fi does. I'm a really tough nut to crack when it comes to sci-fi. I'm very picky. It's about the human reaction to the arrival of these pods, and we see people react to them in a range of different ways. I can't really talk too much about what I absolutely loved about this film because it is a massive spoiler, but if you have seen the film, I loved the twist, I love the questions it raises, I love how it sort of messes with your mind a little bit. I think it was just great. Narratively, it was stunning. I was just really, really impressed, and I will leave a link to a video that Hazel Hayes did on this film down below because she basically sums up all my feelings but articulates them so much better because she's someone that actually knows about sci-fi and knows about film. Something that isn't a film but I did see it in a cinema was the RSC adaptation of William Shakespeare's The Tempest. This was broadcast live in January, but I didn't get the chance to see it because it was one of my friend's birthday. But when I found out that the cinema in the Arts Centre by me was screening it again, I was so excited and bought a ticket as soon as I realised it was being shown. The Tempest isn't one of my favourite Shakespeares in terms of the plot, but I really love some of the ideas and themes that Shakespeare is playing with in it. Prospero's final speech at the end of the play is just so good. I love it so much. It's one of my favourite pieces of Shakespeare, which is quite interesting in that it appears in a play that definitely isn't one of my favourite pieces of Shakespeare. I won't talk about the plot of it too much. I kind of want to talk about the adaptation and how that was done. They really played up the humour in this play, which I really enjoyed. The insta-love in the play is comical anyway, but I think they really brought that out. I think the visual effects they used in the play were absolutely superb. I don't think it quite transferred through a screen because we are used to seeing effects like that on a cinema screen. And I do think it would have like blown me away a lot more if I was actually there to see the production on stage. But nonetheless, I was really impressed by them, and I was really impressed by the guy that played Ariel. I thought he was absolutely wonderful. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think if you can, it is so worth going to RSC screenings. It's just, they're so wonderful. Nice little segue into theatre there. Hamilton. I listened to Hamilton for the first time this month, and the second time, and the third time, and the fourth time. If you somehow don't know anything about Hamilton, this is a musical created by Lin-Manuel Miranda. You might also know him as the guy that did the music for Moana, which I watched in December and absolutely loved. Hamilton is the story of Alexander Hamilton and the founding fathers of America and the American Revolution. But it is a revisioning of that story in the sense of all the characters are portrayed by people of colour or ethnic minorities. The cast reflects the America of now. All the music is like hip hop and rap, and it is done so well. Like lyrically, it is just so good. I really love lyrically intricate and impressive and clever things. I really wanted to wait for like the right moment to listen to Hamilton, because I was a bit worried that like if I just had it on in the background or something, I wouldn't properly listen to it. And I was worried that I wouldn't be as impressed by it as everyone else was. But I got like 10 seconds in, and it became my favourite thing so quickly. And it made me want to go off and learn more about American history. I think great art really does that. It makes you want to learn more about something it told you. It was so good. And if you've not listened to it yet, it's all on Spotify. Please just listen to it. I also have a couple of foodie favourites. In February, I ate so much of this. So much. And to be honest, in March, I am as well. But it's the Metcalf Skinny Popcorn, and I particularly love this one, which is the sweet and salt one. I never used to like popcorn for some reason. I don't know why. I think it was that it like got stuck in my teeth all the time. And I don't really like sweet popcorn, and I don't really like salty popcorn, but combine them, and somehow I love it. But yeah, I've just been eating so much of this. The tea I've been drinking a lot in February, in addition to like the standard tea that I drink all the time, is the Tesco Finest Darjeeling tea. This is like really refreshing and relaxing and mellow. It's a lot more floral than tea I'm used to drinking all the time. It's not something I would want to drink all of the time, but it's a nice alternative. It's a nice little bit of difference. You can have it with or without milk. It works either way. It took me a while to kind of work out how to brew this best, because it is quite pale. It's more golden than brown. I have had Darjeeling tea in the past. I drank it a lot when I was in Berlin, actually, because there was a really nice cafe that we would get breakfast in. They didn't have like standard black tea. They had like specific kinds of black tea and specific blends, and the one I was trying out was Darjeeling, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm really enjoying this one as well. My beauty favourite for the month of February was this lipstick that I got, which is the Maybelline Blushing Pout Matte. I'm wearing it at the moment, but I'm not sure if the colour's quite coming across. It's just like a really sort of pale, kind of dusty pink. But yeah, it just like feels really good. Something I'm really like prioritising with lipsticks now is like how they actually feel on my lips and how sort of moisturising they are. And for a matte lipstick, that Maybelline one is like really good. Yeah, that has been my beauty favourite for the month. Okay, experiences. There have been a lot of things that I've done this month. I'm going to start by talking about some of the like writing and bookish related things. I took part in Lauren from Lauren and the Book's Cozy Reading Night, and that was really, really nice. As I mentioned earlier, I will leave my wrap-up linked down below if you want to hear about the books that I read during that, but it was just really nice to put aside some time specifically for relaxing and reading, and I was so excited to hear that Lauren is going to host more of these nights, but it's something that I also want to incorporate into my life anyway. I really want to make more time for giving myself nights where I focus on myself and focus on reading, because reading is one of the greatest joys and pleasures I have, and I just want to make more time to focus on that and focus on that as something I do to make myself feel good, as opposed to something I do as work, because a lot of the reading I do is work, and it's work that I'm very lucky to have as my line of work. It was just really nice to make some time for it to just purely be about enjoying myself. This month I went to an event that the English and Creative Writing Society at my uni, of which I am vice president of, organised in our English department, which was a reading and a discussion sort of Q&A with Maria Apicella, who wrote this collection called Samedi. I haven't hauled this yet, so look out for it in a video over the next few weeks. But yeah, Maria was just like so nice and so clever and so insightful. She's so friendly. She was like the nicest person ever. Organizing author events and like helping out with them is like one of my favorite things to do. Other writing related things, I had a couple of performances in February. I performed at a poetry event in the art center. It was really cool. I really enjoyed it. I've performed there a couple times before. But really excitingly, at the end of the month, I had my first paid poetry thing, which was really cool. The event that I just mentioned that I do kind of regularly, the time before the last time that I went to that, I was approached by someone and we got talking and we swapped emails, and she suggested that I come to an event that is run in a town sort of an hour and 45 minutes away. So then I got in touch with the guy that organizes it, and he asked if I or a group of people from the society would be interested in being special guest performers. So rather than taking the entire fee for myself, I opened it up to the whole society and anyone that would like to come. So 9 of us took a little road trip, and only one other person knew that it was going to be a paid gig, so it was really nice to see everyone's little surprised and excited faces when they found out that they'd been paid for the first time and were like actually paid professional poets now. They were all like messaging their parents and like taking pictures of the first money they'd earned. And like the event itself was really good. It was really nice to share work with a different crowd than we normally share with, and see what they were also performing as well. Everyone there was so friendly, and everyone there was kind of like really excited that we were there, which was really sweet. And then afterwards we went and got a McDonald's and spent the money that we had been paid, like true students. I think that's everything. I think that's all the favourites for the month. Let me know if you saw or listened to any of the things that I've spoken about in this video. What were your thoughts on them, or are there any things here that you would like to check out now that I've spoken about them? Let me know down below. That's all I'm going to discuss for now, but I will talk to you guys in a few days.